What if I told you that the man sitting in the Oval Office might be sitting on a house of cards ready to collapse? It is a question that no one in power wants to answer. But the truth has a way of coming out, no matter how hard they try to hide it. Imagine this. You wake up every morning, go to work, pay your taxes, follow the rules, and believe in justice. You do everything the right way because that is how the system is supposed to work. But what if that same system was never meant to work for you? What if the powerful lived by a different set of rules? Rules that protect them while the rest of us struggle to get by. For years, we have been told that no one is above the law. Yet time and time again, we watch politicians and their families walk away from scandals that would ruin an ordinary person's life. And now, one name keeps coming up: Biden. His family, his money, his secrets. Enter Pam Bondi, a former prosecutor who knows corruption when she sees it. She has spent years fighting crime, exposing lies, and holding people accountable. And now, she is turning her attention to one of the most powerful families in the country. What she is about to reveal is not just another political scandal. It is something much bigger. It is a story of power, money, and influence. It is a story of deals made in the shadows and a justice system that seems designed to protect the elite. This is not just about politics. It is about the truth. And once you see the full picture, you will understand why everything may be about to collapse. Imagine this. You are looking for a job. You fill out applications, go to interviews, and hope someone gives you a chance. But no matter how hard you try, the best opportunities always seem out of reach. Now, imagine a man with no real experience, no special skills, and no proven success in business. Yet somehow, he lands multi-million-dollar deals in foreign countries. How? That man is Hunter Biden. For years, he struggled with personal issues, bouncing from one opportunity to the next. He was a lawyer, but not a successful one. He had no background in energy, finance, or international business. Yet, he was able to secure massive deals with some of the most powerful companies in China and Ukraine. Why would these companies give him millions of dollars? What did he have that they wanted? The answer is simple. It was not about what he knew. It was about who he knew. His father, Joe Biden, was the Vice President of the United States. When Joe Biden spoke, world leaders listened. When Joe Biden made deals, policies changed. And when Hunter Biden showed up, doors opened that would never open for the average American. Take Burisma, a Ukrainian energy company. In 2014, while his father was leading U.S. relations with Ukraine, Hunter was offered a position on Burisma's board. The salary? $50,000 a month. That is more than most people make in a year. And what did Hunter Biden bring to the company? Not energy expertise. Not leadership. Just a famous last name. Then there was China. Hunter flew with his father on Air Force Two and, just days later, secured a deal with a Chinese investment firm worth over $1 billion. These deals were not normal. They were not earned. They were given because of influence. While Americans worked hard for every dollar, Hunter Biden cashed in on his father's position. The question is why? Why would foreign companies invest millions in a man with no experience? The answer is uncomfortable. It was never about Hunter. It was always about access. And that is why these deals matter. Because when the powerful trade influence for money, it is not just corruption. It is a betrayal of the people they are supposed to serve. ChatGPT said, imagine a family business. One person makes the deals, another handles the money, and someone else keeps everything quiet. But instead of selling a product, this business sells something far more valuable: access to power. This is how the Biden family operates. The money does not come in directly. It moves through a web of companies, shell businesses, and secret accounts. It is like if your neighbor won the lottery, but instead of taking a check, they passed the money through 10 different hands, so you would never know where it really came from. That is exactly what bank records show. Money from China, Ukraine, and other foreign sources flowed into companies linked to Hunter Biden. From there, it was divided up and sent to different Biden family members. But why? What did these companies expect in return? Whistleblowers from inside the government have come forward with disturbing details. Investigators discovered that over 20 shell companies were used to move millions of dollars around. These companies had no real employees, no offices, and no actual business. Their only purpose was to make sure the money was harder to trace. And some of these payments went to people who had no role in Hunter's deals, including Biden family members who were not involved in politics or business. Then there are the emails and text messages. One phrase keeps showing up: 10% for the big guy. That phrase alone raises serious questions. Who is the big guy? According to former business partners of Hunter, it is Joe Biden himself. If that is true, it means Joe Biden was not just aware of these deals, he was expecting a share of the profits. Pam Bondi has gone through these records, and her findings paint a troubling picture. The Biden family was making millions, and the money was being hidden. This was not an accident. It was a system built to keep people from seeing the full truth. And the deeper investigators look, the worse it gets. Because if the President of the United States was involved in these deals, it is not just a scandal. It is corruption at the highest level. If you or I committed fraud, we would be in prison. So why not them? You miss one IRS payment, and they come after you. You make a mistake on your taxes, and you get audited. But if you are part of the Biden family, the system works differently. Investigations stall. Evidence disappears. Prosecutors hesitate. The rules that apply to everyone else simply do not apply to them. Hunter Biden owed millions in unpaid taxes. Instead of facing the consequences like any other American, he got a sweetheart deal. The Department of Justice had all the evidence: bank records, emails, whistleblower testimony. But rather than charging him the way they would charge an ordinary citizen, they delayed, ignored, and covered for him. IRS agents who were assigned to Hunter Biden's case spoke out. They revealed that prosecutors were blocked from digging too deep. They were told to back off. Even when they found clear proof of tax fraud, they were prevented from filing charges that would have sent anyone else to jail. These whistleblowers did not just suspect interference. They witnessed it. They were ordered to slow down. And when they refused, they were removed from the case. The FBI was no different. Whistleblowers inside the agency confirmed that high-ranking officials pressured investigators to bury evidence. Reports were shut down. Witnesses were ignored. Agents were warned not to ask the wrong questions. And if they did, their careers were threatened. Think about how this compares to everyday justice. If a working-class American gets caught in tax fraud, there's no DOJ favor. The IRS does not delay. The FBI does not look the other way. Regular people lose their homes, their savings, their freedom. But when you are part of a powerful political family, you get a free pass. This is not speculation. This is not conspiracy. This is real. And it is happening at the highest levels of government. The people who are supposed to protect the law are instead protecting the powerful. And the deeper we look, the clearer it becomes. The justice system is not broken. It is working exactly as it was designed, to shield the elite while the rest of the country plays by a different set of rules. Something is changing. For years, the truth was hidden, buried under politics and media silence. But now, people inside the system are speaking up. They have seen too much, and they refuse to stay quiet. Whistleblowers have risked their careers to expose what really happened. Investigators are uncovering evidence that was never supposed to see the light of day. And the deeper they dig, the clearer it becomes. This is not just a scandal. It is a cover-up unraveling in real time. The mainstream media spent years ignoring the story. They called it a distraction, a conspiracy, anything but the truth. But now, they can no longer look away. Leaked documents, bank records, and testimonies from government officials have forced them to report what they once dismissed. The truth is too big to hide, and that has consequences. Congress is now under pressure to act. There are calls for investigations, for accountability, for justice. Some are even asking if this could lead to an impeachment inquiry. Because if the President of the United States was involved in corruption, it is not just a scandal, it is a crisis. This is the tipping point. The moment when everything starts to collapse. The powerful are losing control of the story. The people who once protected them are stepping back. The question is no longer if the truth will come out. It is how much damage it will do when it finally does. The cracks are showing. The question is, how long before the whole house falls down? For years, The powerful have counted on one thing: your silence. They expect you to forget. They expect you to be distracted. They know that if they drag things out long enough, people will move on. That is how they survive. That is how scandals fade away. But the truth does not disappear. It stays there, waiting for the moment when it can no longer be ignored. Right now, that moment is coming. The lies are unraveling. The media is being forced to cover the story. Whistleblowers are stepping forward. Investigations are moving forward. And the evidence is stacking up. But here's the reality. None of this matters if people do not pay attention. That is why they want you to look away. They want you to believe that this is just politics as usual, that it is too complicated to understand, that it is not worth your time. Because as long as people do not care, nothing changes. So what do you think? Can the Biden empire survive this? Will those in power finally be held accountable? Or will this all be swept under the rug, like so many scandals before it? Comment below. Let your voice be heard. And if you believe the truth matters, share this video. Because the only way corruption continues is if nobody talks about it. The only way they win is if you stay silent.